Alright folks, I'm going to tell you where we stand on this thing. The running good. You know, I got my wire in there for firing. It's running good on that. Couple of things I need to do to get everything all tied up here. I'm going to go ahead and solder a wire to that and run it to that, and then you know, get that taped up where it's not going to arc off, hopefully. And then we've got to get the head back off and go weld the hole, and we'll take that to a buddy of mine that can TIG that for me, and I'll get it ground out and get a little piece made for it inside the bottom of the spark plug. But I have decided, because the way this thing runs, it actually runs completely different once the fuel starts going down in the tank. You raise the tank up, it runs richer. So there's, you know, having to adjust in and out on that screw. So what we're going to do is get our tank on, and we'll go ahead and do a check valve in the tank, and that should make it, you know, repeat itself every time, hopefully the same way. And we won't have to, you know, hopefully won't have to choke it, you know, so much to get it started and, you know, all that happy stuff. And we'll go ahead and try to get this thing done. And for Halloween, I think it's like the 22nd maybe today or something like that. But this is going to be our zombie engine, and that's what we're going to do it as. And you know, we'll go from there. And I don't know if I showed you the other head or not, but you'll see it laying there. It's got the spark plug in it. That's one I was playing around with, and we could have done it that way, but I wanted to do it without a spark plug. Sometimes the easy way, you know, might be the easy way and maybe even the best way, but you know, if you want to do something a particular way and try it, you know, you just go with it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get some soldering done, and maybe get some tank made, and get that head back off, and we should get this thing wrapped up. Show you more later. Okay folks, what we're going to try now, got my wire soldered in. We're going to start it up, pull this plug wire off, of course it stay running, and then we're going to shut it off and try to start it up without the plug wire hooked up. And that's just a little test on my wire and make sure, you know, it's firing real good. I'll try to get the camera set up so you can watch this. Runs about as good with the spark plug as it does without, or the spark plug wire. So we're getting there. A few more things, show you more later. Okay folks, that was a successful test, done good. Hopefully we can get this tank made where we can get this thing to run a little smoother and be consistent. But you can see my ugly solder in there, but you know, it works. I think I'm going to cover that with some silicone, maybe 100% silicone, and I know, you know, it works good as a keep it from conducting electricity anyway, but an insulator, I guess you could call it. But I'm going to actually cover that, and it's probably going to look pretty bad, but it, you know, as long as it works. And our gas tank's going to come in here, and I believe go about like that, so there'll be a gap there, so we should be fine there. We'll keep it down low enough where we can get our fuel line to run in the top of it with our tube, and then I've still got to figure out the fill on it, how to, you know, fill it up with gas. But it's coming along. A lot more to do, but looks pretty simple though. I mean, all the work I've done, and then you sit here and look, and all we've got the fuel mixer, you know, a Venturi and our spark plug set up there, and it's not much work, but it sure seemed like it was a bunch. But hopefully we can get this thing going. Like I said, I got to get the head off one more time, hopefully the last time, because I'm gonna wear the damn bolts out in it, or the holes, trying to in and out. But I did notice after running it a little bit, I got to make sure I retorque the head gasket, because you know, I torqued them and then ran it, and then, you know, they acted like it was pretty loose. So I got to make sure of that. I don't want to blow one of the 6 head gaskets out of it, but you know, it's still not real thick. So you can see the back here of the gasket stacked up, and I'll try to hide that some or something. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes success is not pretty. But show you more as I go. I'm gonna, them last 2 things, gas tank and the spark plug hole, welded up, and hopefully we'll be done. Alright, later. Okay folks, just wanted to show you my fuel tank so far. You can should be able to see inside of it there. That's my fuel inlet. And of course I got to put the check ball down in, and then put the line in, and then I'll solder it in. Just got to remember to put the check ball in. And excuse my ugly soldering job here, but I kind of go overboard with things sometimes. I just don't want it to leak or crack. I was afraid of the vibrations of making it crack, but I've got to get the other end on, and you know, here's my end, and I'll get it soldered on there. And I've got to put a fill on it. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put the fill at, or how I'm going to do it. Another one of them things, but tank's going to sit right inside there, and I'll solder some brackets to it, and I'm going to probably bolt it on with maybe just one of these bolts, or maybe both of them, and run a bracket up to it, and then maybe run one off of here to it. You know, I don't want it moving, don't want it vibrating. And as you can see, I put some silicone around that. It's just about set up, and that'll just isolate that, keep it from, you know, sparking off or hitting. And hopefully I can get this tank done today, and that will leave us with the spark plug to take care of. And like I said, I'm going to cut a little aluminum piece out, take the head off, flip it over, take it in there, and I may have to grind the end of that spark plug off so it seats down in all right, you know, where it looks okay, because that head's so thin. And you know, that's not a big deal, and I just won't show you that on camera when I take the plug out. Hopefully that plate's going to be pretty thin, so when you know, create that much heat in that cylinder, it's going to be hot. So I'm hoping I can maybe put a couple drops of oil in that hole before I put the plug in. That way when I take the plug out, we'll get a little bit of a smoke effect coming out of it, and just to mess with you a little bit more. But coming along, a lot of work, a lot of time. Again, you know, I want to do this build video. I really want to show it, but I totally understand why they don't, you know, show it now. There's way more work involved in this than what I figured it would be, you know, just fabricating and trying to get things right. And you know, it really don't help I start out with an engine with a valve bad. I know that was a lot of the problem, and you know, not running it before. But that's the way it goes. But hopefully we can get it done here. I'm trying to get it done for Halloween. Like I said, this is my zombie engine.